Hi butterflies, welcome to my garden. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. And now let's get into the video. Hi everybody, it's your girl Calypso and I am back again. I'm back, I'm back again, I'm back again, I'm back again, I'm back again. Hi everybody. So today I'm gonna be talking about common trans myths and misconceptions, wrong perceptions about trans people. Now I've already done 2 breakdowns in my previous videos and this is breakdown number 3, and this is pretty common, and this is one of those misconceptions where people assume that transgender people are drag queens or drag kings and vice versa. And I have a few breakdowns about it and I'm just going to share my opinion and I'm just going to dispel that myth in this video. So stay tuned and watch and let me know what you think about my opinion. So stay tuned. So starting with the basics, what is a drag queen or a drag king? A drag queen, king, or performer, for the gender-neutral folks, is a person who ostentatiously dresses up in gender signifiers and roles for entertainment purposes. The keywords here should be entertainment purposes, signifying that the act comes off when the show is over as well.
But where did the term drag originate?
The term drag was primarily used as a theater term to describe a man or woman who was dressed in clothing typically worn by the opposite sex.
Before women were allowed to perform in theater, men played female parts, cross-dressing in women's clothes.
It's thought that drag was chosen because it describes the action of long skirts dragging on the stage.
Commonly intermixed as part of LGBT plus communities, transgender people and drag queens or kings or drag performers aren't necessarily related. The famous LGBT plus group called GLAAD explained, transgender women are not cross-dressers or drag queens. Drag queens are men, typically gay men, who dress like women for the purpose of entertainment. So it helps to be aware of the differences between transgender women, cross-dressers, and drag queens. So in order to avoid those mistakes or something, it helps if you use the term that's preferred by the individual. This was a statement from GLAAD as well. Now, being trans isn't a matter of dressing up in different clothes. It's a permanent identity that follows people throughout their entire lives. And yes, while some trans people enjoy dressing up in exotic outfits to entertain others, the act of dressing up in clothes that match one's gender identity, it actually only reflects one part of what it means to be trans. I myself, I dabble casually in the drag scene, performing shows, even marching in the Mardi Gras and the whole bit. However, I personally do not identify as a drag queen, but I prefer the term showgirl, or to adopt a more gender-neutral term, I go by performing artist because I feel like it's more appropriate to coincide with my trans identity. So, being a cross-dresser or a drag queen or king or drag performer doesn't necessarily mean that people identify with a gender different from the one they were assigned at birth, because drag comes off at the end of the workday along with the costume. The trans identity doesn't come off. In other words, the costume makes the clown, because there's some drag queens or kings may even be straight and cisgender, meaning that they identify with the gender assigned to them at birth and are only dressing up for entertainment. Now, the nuances of the entertainment purposes is up for conversation or up for discussion, and what cross-dressing means can vary a lot from individual to individual. So therefore, in conclusion, Getting the differences in the terms correctly is crucial to understanding the nuance of gender identity and expression, which are deeply ingrained and follow nearly all aspects of trans people's lives. For many trans people, picking out gender affirming clothes is only one small part of the social transition because the act of coming out as trans to family, friends, and society as a whole, that's a whole other animal as well. The other steps from medical procedures to dealing with how society as a whole is going to react to your journey also plays a bigger role in a trans person's life. So, therefore, getting the two terms of being a drag performer versus being a trans individual or an individual of trans experience is important because very often the two get mixed up, and that is what leads to the misconception, which in the long run is ignorant. And in this case, ignorant is not necessarily an excuse anymore because there's so much information out there that people could use to separate the differences between the two individuals as a whole. So, those are just my opinions, and they shouldn't be. All my opinions are just that, my opinions. They shouldn't be taken as facts because there's been a few instances that a drag queen has come out as trans, and there's been trans people that have dabbled in drag as well. So this is just me stating my opinions and trying to break it down as simply as I can for those who are not very familiar with the LGBT plus lingo. So I hope I was able to spread some truths today and make some valid points, and just leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of my message of the video for today. And yeah, I'll see you real soon. So until then, as always, spread love, be kind to one another, keep the peace, and protect your energy. And I'll see you soon. So until then, fly high, my butterflies. Mwah, 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 mwah.